few tidbits that we got out of the combine. A little bit.
Were there tidbits?
Yeah, a little bit.
What bit were you tidding?
Just some talk about teams interested in certain players.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, that's good. I
Yeah.
also am here to report that the Lane Lambert fired for his staff Dave Lowry, who's an assistant coach in Seattle, and Steve Briere, who was the goalie coach in Toronto when I was there. He's been in Seattle the last couple of years. So new staff over there.
Oh.
I should
All
say
right.
Jason Botterill fired, because I'm sure Lane didn't do it himself.
Okay, that and more when we return to Real Kipper and Bourne. Quiet. We're on the air. Nick Kiprios, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Real Kipper and Bourne. As a reminder, this hour, Real Kipper and Bourne, brought to you by Bet365. All right, Sammy, what do you got for us?
I'm just quickly watching Nick Taylor,
Nick Taylor
with a birdie putt.
23-foot birdie attempt to get to one back. Oh my God, these guys are
Burning edges. He looks good out there right now. Canada Line is brought to you by Muskoka Bay Resort, a top 10 ranked Canadian course, part of the Freed Golf Network. And we have a lot to get to here. So I'm going to play a couple calls, and then we're going to get to some other stuff after, including the Leafs signing a very familiar face as a assistant coach. But we'll get to that after the Canada
Randy
Line.
Carlisle.
Let's go. Let's go to Colton from Kelowna.
Hey, K-Town's up. That's the old Taylor
Okay.
clip you're watching.
It's no joke. The Oilers have invaded the far west coast, but we are surrounded by them. Us Canuck fans have not only barely endured the hardships of this past season, but now we have to watch Joe Blow from Leduc, Alberta, drive down Harvey Avenue with their flags waving from their trucks. People are literally carving the Oil logo out of their own lawn for the playoffs. But don't let it get to you, Canuck fans. Our time will eventually come. Also, shout out to our hometown hero, Forney. Let me know, and I can get you tickets for the upcoming Memorial Cup this season in Kelowna. We'll love to see a Vipers legend back in the Okanagan. Anyway, boys, keep up the good work, and go Canucks go.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go next
Are you
year.
going to go?
Well, it's in Kelowna. I got it, right?
Yeah. When was the last time it was there? Like 5-7 years
Was
ago?
it back
No
when
idea.
Josh George's, I think they won it back in the day, didn't they?
No idea.
Early
Longer?
2000s?
No idea.
Yeah, probably been 20
It's
years.
the place to be, though.
It's awesome. I would love to be there. Also, you know, the whole Canucks fans.
Yeah, the
it'll
Calgary.
eventually
I
be
mean,
your time.
The Edmonton, yeah. And also having the Edmonton fans who, like, they own your franchise now.
Yeah.
And they've,
You
Gret-
think they're cheering hard against them?
oh, yeah. Gretzky owned them, too. Like,
They're not coming around like you?
no. It's different. Western Conference.
Everybody's
Hey,
coming
they lack-
around.
they lack-
Well, I'm not, Doug.
If it was, the Habs or Ottawa in the final, I ain't coming around.
No.
So
They
let's
lack Sammy maturity out there.
quickly do one more. Vaughn in Calgary.
Diehard Leafs fan, whole life, 40-some years old now. Just want to say, Sammy, love the passion, doing a great job. Borny, great to see you on HNIC. Nick, not sure. I don't know what to say about you, but so here's the thing. I drive up to
You
Edmonton
just
for
did.
game one.
You just did.
and, of the finals here. And I turned to my wife at the end of the game and I said, this is what superstars look like when they play the game.
Yep.
And it just pisses me off so much more that we got these guys in Toronto that just don't show the passion. Like, you got superstars, that's what they do. They come through and it matters. And I'm sitting there going into overtime thinking, Edmonton's going to win. And then I thought to myself, if this was Toronto, I'd be thinking, we're going to lose. So that's the difference. We got to find some players like that. Goodbye.
Here's what I'll say. I do think that it's unfair to anyone to compare them to Draisaitl and McDavid.
Well, but it hasn't been, because Matthews won the Hart Trophy.
Yeah,
and
but
we did the.
But
You know-
he hasn't improved like Draisaitl has improved, and he hasn't improved like McDavid has improved.
The point he's making is that it's not necessarily, just winning the Stanley Cup. It's just showing that passion and emotion
I get
that champions have. And that's a regular occurrence when the team lifts the trophy. And that's not what he saw out of his Leafs.
You know,
Again.
last night, Wednesday night, Mikola's in Draisaitl's face, whatever, and Draisaitl, look him stone in the eye and give him one in the beak, and then they go their separate ways and it's no big deal. And it's nice that he's able to do that. He doesn't care. He doesn't worry about it. He doesn't think about it.
Sorry to interrupt, but Roy McIlroy is...
He's going to shoot 85 today. I'm playing there next week. I might have a better round than he's having right now. Anyways, the Canada Line was brought to you by Muskoka Bay Resort, a top 10 ranked Canadian course, part of the Freed Golf Network. And Sportsnet and Muskoka Bay have come together with an amazing contest, and today is your last day to enter. So text the word Muskoka to 590-590 for your chance at to play at one of Canada's top 10 ranked golf courses with a night in an incredible 3-bedroom villa for you and 3 friends. Just text the word Muskoka to 590-590 for your chance to win. Visit sportsnet.ca/590 contest for more details. That standard message and data rates may apply. Leafs hired Derek Lalonde.
See, that's a perfect example of you get on TV, you throw out some fancy, technical stuff.
Gobbledygook.
You hope someone eats it up, and boom, you find a job.
You think that helped Lalonde?
Oh, no. It's historically, this is what coaches do. That's out of work. They go on TV.
Just like to remind everyone I still exist. If you're looking for hires.
Keenan did it all those years at Sportsnet earlier.
Paul Maurice did it.
Paul Maurice, Torts, like the list goes on and on.
Talk.
Huge.
Yeah.
You just keep building it up, and you hope someone buys
Which is funny.
what you're selling.
Because the more you hear these guys talk, the more you learn that they don't have a lot of unique insights. And I'm not talking about Lalonde, but like they're thoughtful guys, likable guys, whatever. They have an angle, but like it's not revolutionary the way that they approach the game necessarily.
So this is to replace Lane Lambert, who's now the head coach of the Seattle Kraken, the Squids.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and Lalonde knows how to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning because he made sure everybody knew, right?
Right.
So the Leafs should never, ever lose again to Tampa Bay.
That's helpful. I do like the idea that you get a guy who's been a head coach in the league, got some experience. It's
I wonder
fully
if he's
confident in who he is at this point.
He's built up a little bit of a following and a personality. You think they let him speak to the media? Would you let him speak to the media?
Of course I would. This is one of my biggest complaints. This guy's been a head coach. He's thoughtful.
And Berube
How's it going to
hates
hurt
it.
you? Yeah, he hates talking.
Right?
Let your assistants come out and give some thoughts. Let's hear it.
That will be interesting to see under Pelly if they do change the sort of the assistant coach mentality, because they've never let the assistant coaches talk.
They're so afraid of like a little disagreement or
something interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd let them talk.
No?
What's the harm?
The harm
slightly
is
different message.
Yes,
We'll get it right in a corrective statement.
A
Then.
little bit, yeah.
At least you get another angle, keep it fresh, get some insights.
You can kind of twist things a little bit.
You're not doing rocket science, though.
It's not rocket appliances.
It's not rocket appliances.
The media will pounce on anything that looks, especially.
And then people are talking about you. Great.
It depends if it's followed. The comments are followed by like a 4-game losing streak. Yeah. Then you kind of have the ability to.
Then Willie goes on and he
twisted.
says, "What's the big deal?" And then you just go on a 4-game winning streak.
Unless it's the end of the season and your 3-game losing streak knocks you out.
Yeah, that's true.
Since we're doing Leafs now, and I'm going full Johnny Leaf fan here, but I want the Leafs to overpay Bennett bad.
You're ready.
Oh, I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm watching him on that ice with those guys and Florida. I mean, like you said, like Max said, Reinhart maybe not healthy, Kachuk maybe not healthy.
Yeah.
But like Bennett jumps off the ice. He's their best player by far.
I don't see him leaving Florida.
Well, please leave and come to Toronto and guide them through. Please.
He really was awesome.
Awesome.
Game 1. And if you're
awesome the whole
complaining about
playoffs.
the Leafs, is that they're an around, not a through team.
Yeah.
There is no bigger hole punch of a player than this guy.
He can go around or through.
Pulling the armrest off my chair here.
Do you believe